I'm Yaniv Price, a software engineering leader, coach, consultant, and the author of Fixing Management. Welcome to Fixing Management, the podcast that gives actionable guidance on becoming a more effective leader. In this episode, we talk about stress and worry, what they really are, where they come from, and most importantly, practical techniques managers and non-managers can use to deal with them effectively. Please turn to professional help if you have over a few weeks of sadness or feeling down. Why do we have stress? Stress goes way back to our savannah days, thousands of years ago, as a survival mechanism. When you saw a movement in a bush and thought there might be a tiger, that stress response kept you alive. These were actual life threats. Nowadays, most of the threats we face are not life-threatening. For example, worries about status, income, or education might affect our sense of security or social standing, but they are not immediate dangers. Some threats are completely imaginary, like thinking your manager hates you when you don't actually know it. Some levels of stress are actually good because they push us to act. Feeling hungry or cold moves us to do something about it. There is also eustress, that energetic feeling when you can't wait to do really well in an activity like a test or a game. But distress is the negative type, anxiety that occupies our mind like a computer processor stuck at 95% on a background task, eventually hurting our performance. Different people feel stress in different ways. Ask yourself, do you find yourself worrying often, imagining future scenarios and how bad they'll turn out? Are you ruminating on past events, thinking over and over about things that already happened and you cannot change? Do you think a lot about things outside your control, like gas prices or global politics? Do you stress about not finishing all your planned work for today? Is there an ongoing conflict with a peer at work or with your spouse? Have your personal values been breached, or do you lack culture fit? Do you feel anxiety when you have to perform? Do you experience imposter syndrome, thinking you're not doing well and will eventually get caught despite evidence and positive feedback? How do we often deal with stress? There are many strategies or behaviors we adopt for dealing with stress. Some help reduce the physical stress response, and some are not helpful at all, and we might even think they are part of our identity. Unhelpful long-term strategies include breathing with long exhales, massage, self-monitoring, examining how our body reacts, temperature, sweat, voice pitch and speed, positive self-talk, you can do it, taking a vacation from work, over-preparation and perfectionism, waiting for that perfect moment to act, for all stars to align, making excuses for expected low performance or after the fact like I'm not feeling well or I didn't have time to practice, procrastination, postponing what you need to do, outsourcing decision-making to others, believing they know better, pleasing others at your own expense, avoidance, not even trying, not showing up, depending on others to do things for you. Why do so many strategies fail? Some strategies do give momentary relief. Breathing slowly signals the vagus nerve there is no immediate danger. Massage gives a short-term relief to the body. Others, like making an excuse, might even make things worse as the problem is still there, unresolved, and we train ourselves to not deal with it. We invest in temporary detours. Just telling yourself you can give this talk in front of 100 strangers, many times in front of the mirror, deepens the thought that you actually have a problem doing it, making you more anxious and likely have a hard time doing it. Over time, these failed strategies reduce our self-esteem and even result in physical symptoms. Resisting thoughts doesn't work. Try this simple exercise. Think about a pink elephant for 5 seconds. Now try not to think about pink elephant for 5 seconds. Now think for 1 second about each of these. Car, flower, iPhone, sun, grass, school, music. Did you notice that you didn't think about the pink elephant? Who decided what to think about? That's right, you did. We'll come back to controlling worries in a moment. The worry process. Pause for a few seconds and think. How much do you believe worrying is helpful? In what way? How much is worrying controllable? Spoiler, worrying is not helping us. Concern does help us because it causes us to identify a problem, need, or desire, plan what to do, act, and iterate. Worrying is not changing reality. It takes a lot of time and energy without any outcome. It's about the past we cannot change or about the future we cannot control. You can think of worrying this way. Imagine yourself on a sunny day sitting on the top of a green hill above a lake. In the valley below there is a train passing. It's black with black smoke. It's the worry train. Do you let it pass or do you prefer to join the ride? With practice, worry can become more and more controllable. Here's a fact. Thoughts are random. We have about 70,000 thoughts per day. Accept the randomness. The thoughts are not reality and are not you. Decide to postpone a specific worry for tomorrow at 7:30 in the evening. Maybe when that time arrives, you don't feel like worrying or forget about it. Understand that your future worry is only one story out of many. We interpret reality through our minds, coping strategies, past experiences, and assumptions. If we could always tell the future, we'd be fortune tellers. So question if these are facts or interpretations. Do you know, or do you assume or predict? Detach from your thought. Imagine a thought is a cloud in the sky that the wind is carrying. Let it come, and let it go without holding on to it. When a negative thought comes, like the new manager will be a bad one, you can tell yourself, here's a thought that, and then continue with, the new manager will be a bad one. Focus outwards, not on yourself. Whatever the situation is, look at the task at hand or the people you interact with rather than self-monitor. What else to do? Here are practical actions you can take to manage stress more effectively. Let's start with panic. Use the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. First breathe, inhale for 4 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds, and repeat. This helps calm your nervous system. Then, name 5 things you can see. Pay attention to details like color, shape, or texture of objects. Name 4 things you can feel. This could be feeling of your clothes, the chair beneath you, the texture of a nearby object, or your feet on the floor. Name 3 things you can hear. Listen for sounds around you, both near and far. Examples include a clock ticking, traffic, a fan humming, or your breath. Name 2 things you can smell. If it's hard to find 2, try moving closer to something you can sniff or a nearby item like a flower, your clothes, or a cup of coffee. Name 1 thing you can taste. This could be a flavor of a food or drink, or even just the taste inside your mouth. If you can't taste anything, that's okay. Why it works? It redirects your attention away from distressing thoughts by requiring you to focus on external, physical details. By engaging your senses, it interrupts the flight or fight response, which helps calm your body and mind. It can be used almost anywhere to manage feelings of anxiety, panic, or being overwhelmed. Now let's move to day-to-day routines that are helpful long-term. Relaxation meditation. Consistent exercising of a few minutes per day increase the mind's resilience against stress. Focus on things you can control and influence. Analyze, make a plan, act, and iterate. This is dealing with the issue. Every evening, write down a few things you are thankful for, small victories, and successes. Brain dump your worries on a paper, let them out of the system. Be in contact with others, humans and animals. We are social creatures. Engage in physical activity. Plan enough sleep and maintain sleep hygiene. Help others. Be in nature. Do meaningful things. Meaningful things mean meaningful to you. Take control over your calendar. Block focus time for thinking, specific preparations, or strategy. As a manager, set psychological safety in your team. Set work-life boundaries, like no emails and calls after work and on weekends. Set boundaries around expectations and explain behaviors that cause you difficulties. Remove notifications and badges like the number of unread emails in your mobile phone. Accept. You cannot change others, including your manager. You can only change yourself. Again, please turn to professional help if you have a long period of sadness or feeling down. That's it for today. Thanks for listening and keep fixing management. If you found this helpful, share it with another manager.